once again from the Federal Executive Council meeting. Says he's working from home and needs time for more rest. Nigeria is looking towards China for about $7 billion loan to finance railway projects and reconstruct the northeast region. That's our focus on the program. Many thanks everyone for joining in. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Imana Amawe, sitting in for your regular host, Seun Okimbaloye, who is on vacation. Well, remember, you can join us. You can follow the conversation via Twitter. The handle is at CTV Politics, and you can also log on to Facebook and watch us live. Well, before we delve into our main discussions for the day, let's see some other stories we've been following for you right here on Channels Television. Now, barely 24 hours after it withdrew its application seeking a stay of execution of a court order which defroze the sum of $5.9 million belonging to Patience Jonathan, the wife of the former president, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has secured a fresh order for the sum before the same judge, Justice Mojisola Olatoregun of the Federal High Court, Lagos. The FCC brought a fresh ex parte application for the forfeiture of the money to the federal government. In this new application, titled Action in Mrs. Jonathan, this new application specifically named Mrs. Jonathan in the documents put before the court. And this marks a clear departure from the earlier forfeiture order in which Mrs. Jonathan had challenged because she was not a party to the proceedings. The EFCC then asked the court to direct the publication in any national newspaper of the said order to enable any interested party to appear and show cause why a final forfeiture of the funds should not be granted. Mrs. Olatoregun granted all the others and subsequently fixed May the 15th to enable any interested party to appear and show cause why the order should not be made final. Meanwhile, in another development, the presidency has responded to allegations that it is not harassing ex-President Jonathan's family. In a statement responding to a publication in a national daily today, that's Wednesday, April the 26th, entitled Buhari Government Harassing My Family, which is attributed to former President Jonathan, the presidency says that Buhari only allows the law to take its due course. Well, according to the paper, the newspaper publication, the former president reportedly disagreed with the style being used by the administration of President Buhari in fighting corruption. And the presidency says, and I quote, with regard to President Buhari's anti-graft style, which the former president depreciates, given the scale of revelations and recoveries so far by the anti-corruption agencies, it is obvious that corruption had an uninhibited course during our recent past. In any case, time will give the verdict on whose style of fighting corruption ultimately yielded the most dividends. For now, that's what the presidency says, President Buhari is resolute and single-minded in the fact that his crusade against graft is not targeted at any individual or group. He firmly believes that national interest must always be placed above personal interest, no matter who is involved. Well, away from all of that, the All Progressives Congress is right about now holding a meeting of its National Working Committee. The national chairman of the party, Chief John Oyegun, is interacting with about 15 APC state governors and 4 deputy governors. The governors of Lagos, Kano, Adamawa and Nasarawa states are set to be present in that meeting. The issues being discussed are centered around presidential appointments and the lack of the perceived political reward system in the party, and also the recently cancelled National Executive Council meeting of the APC and the lack of internal cohesion. We'll bring you more details on that as they unfold. And away from all that, once again, President Muhammadu Buhari was absent at the Federal Executive Council meeting. This is the second time in 1 month. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, had to hold brief for the President in his absence. He chaired the Federal Executive Council meeting. And the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, briefed State House correspondents. He spoke after that meeting. He said the president needed some time away to rest a little bit more, and there was nothing unusual about his absence. Let's listen to what the Minister of Information had to say at the end of that meeting.
We just concluded the Federal Council meeting. I said, of course, you noticed that the president was not there. He was not there because he actually sent word that he wanted to rest today, and he asked the VP to preside over today's meeting. In addition, he also asked that all his files be taken home to him and will be working from home today. The president will be seeing the president later in the day for further consultations. Thank you very much.
Well, Minister of Information Alhaji Lai Mohammed speaking on why the president was away from the Federal Executive Council meeting. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has sought the approval of the National Assembly for the federal government to secure about $6.9 billion in loans from the World Bank and the China Exim Bank to fund infrastructural objectives across the country and also to combat outbreak of polio in the northeastern region. In a letter which was separately read by the Senate President Bukola Saraki and the Speaker of the House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara, President Buhari asked for an approval to borrow a total of $5.851 billion from China to fund Nigeria's railway projects. Mr. Buhari also in the letter asked the lawmakers for a quick approval to enable Nigeria access the China Africa Fund package, which was already included in the 2016 to 2018 external borrowing plan, which was forwarded to the National Assembly last August. An additional over $1.11 billion is also being sought for